So this is a very short video to show you how to animate eye darts and to do the timing on eye darts. Now we're going to use the 11 rig now, which you can download from the resources page of the 11 Second Club. And this is 11 right out of the box, and I've really done almost nothing to 11. I've added no animation because I just want to show eye darts. Normally we'd have at least some motion on the head. I have brought the mouth corners down and I've brought the brows up to give 11 a slightly worried look. So 11 is going to kind of look around a little bit and look a little anxious. And over here I've got a shot camera, which actually, even as I look at it, looks a little bit too close, so I'm just going to pull back a bit to a slightly less extreme close-up. And then I'm going to drag select those values and then right click and lock them off so we don't accidentally kick over our shot camera. And if you look at the eye direction controller over here, if I press W, we can move that around and that controls the motion of the eyes. So what we want to do is go to frame 1, set a keyframe and animate some eye darts. So 11 is looking over to a character over here, and they're kind of looking, as people do, from one eye to the other. And this is going to show thinking in the character. So let's just hold that for about 20 frames. So I'm just going to hold that down. We're on spline curves. So from 1 to 20 it's not doing anything. And then I'm going to have on frame 23, I'm just going to have the character look over slightly. I've got auto key turned on, so it should be automatically calculating that for me. And then or automatically setting a keyframe, I mean. So we're going to hold that for about another 16 frames, 14 frames or so. Actually, let's hold it for 16 frames, press S, and then once again, let's move it back. So 11 looks back over to the other eye. And press S. And then hold it to the end of the shot. I've set this for 2 seconds. 1000, 1000, 1000. So if I press play, 11 is going to look, actually does not, let's have a look at the eye controls there. Yeah, so let's have that motion be a little bit bigger so it's slightly more obvious. Okay, so let's press play now. So there we see 11 is looking to screen left and then to screen right again. Now we want to flatten off these tangents, so I'm just going to press the flatten tangents button there, and now we should get something that is a little crisper. So 11 looks left and then looks right, but it still feels a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. So what we want to do is go into these tangents here. Between, essentially what you've got is a 2-frame transition, which is a little too slow. So what we want is a kind of 1.5 frame transition. But actually I'll show you what happens if I make this a 1-frame transition like that. It'll be too quick. So it just doesn't quite work. It feels too fast. So what we want to do, I'll just press Z, is make it 1.5 frames. So I'm going to set a keyframe there and just have a little ease in there, and then the same thing there, press a keyframe and then a little ease in there. And then what we should have is a nice little crisp eye dart going from side to side like that. Actually, if I just pull this down, it'll loop better because it'll have the same value at the beginning and the end. So it looks left, looks right, and this is a way of keeping the eyes alive. It simulates a character looking from one eye to the other, somebody looking at someone else. It shows that they're thinking, it shows that their brain is alive. And this is a technique that I learned on robots back in 2003. I'd not come across it in 2D animation, even though I'd been a 2D animator for more than 10 years at that point. And the reason is that 2D animation, it was so hard to control the drawings that it was very difficult to get real subtleties like this in facial expressions, except on very extreme close-ups. Whereas in 3D, because it's so crisp, we can capture this kind of thing much more easily. So that's why I encountered it for the first time on my first CG film, which was robots. So that's how to animate eye darts.